I'm Bobby Hune, and let's queer up the worldview. Turkey's state broadcaster faces backlash over anti-LGBTQ documentary. Turkey's state broadcaster is under fire over a new documentary that critics says targets lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people and portrays them as a threat to families. The 6-part documentary titled Rainbow Fascism is set to stream Sunday, January 18th on Tabi, the online platform of state broadcaster TRT. The Director General of TRT announced the program on Twitter, calling it an effort to expose what he described as an ideological siege that targets the family and children. The series focuses on what it calls the goals and influence of LGBTQ plus lobbies, using interviews, research, and personal stories. Critics says the project crosses a line for a taxpayer-funded broadcaster. In its trailer, LGBTQ people are depicted as rainbow-colored elephants, smashing objects inside a glass children's room. Imagery, activists say, which encourages hostility. Journalist Irfan Degirmanji accused TRT of using public funds to put children at risk, saying public broadcasting should not target people. LGBTQ advocates, academics, and public figures echo these concerns. The controversy comes as President Erdogan's government promotes family-centered policies. Human rights group says LGBTQ people in Turkey already face bans on pride events, police detentions, and growing political pressure. I mean, this has been the growing trend in the past 10 years all over that region, not just the Near East, or Eastern Europe, which Turkey straddles both, but you're looking at Hungary under Orban, Putin in Russia, Erdogan in Turkey. They are, as someone who know a thing or two about international relations, they always run and scapegoat the LGBTQ community, and whenever they feel like their grip on power is slipping, because they count on the general population that are uneducated about LGBTQ people, long-standing cultural indifference or hostility towards LGBTQ people, and just milk it for all it's worth. In Putin's case, he literally partnered up with Russian Orthodox Church and basically unleashed a pogrom on queer people. And Erdogan has been leaning more and more on Islamicist bent on his policy, because despite the fact that Turkey is founded as a secular republic where, yes, there's a majority of Muslims who live in Turkey, very big majority, but the government is supposed to serve everyone, not just Islamicists. And of course, in Hungary, Orban is leaning on, once again, the church in order to advance his agenda and hold on to his power by scapegoating LGBTQ plus people.
This is all terrible, but we're not the country to judge at this point, quite frankly. First off, Erdogan's tax dollars to do a rainbow fascism documentary. That is so quaint compared to the crimes this country's been committing lately. Florida alone, you all remember last election cycle, decided to use taxpayer dollars to stop a pro-abortion legislation, which, yes, abortion, women's rights, and queer rights are all very, very much connected. But not only that, I remember in 2019, I was at the Florida, we had to call out a Republican in Florida who was joking about hanging queer people. He was paid by tax dollars. And then, just last week we did a story about a federal agent murdering a lesbian activist, or not, she wasn't even an activist, she was a lesbian mother. So I look at everyone, he's terrible. But then I look at us in the mirror, I'm like, oh God, we can't talk.
The title, literal gay fascism is very much in your face. It is literally implying, and it also perpetuates what American groups who has exported this kind of hate.
Who came up with rainbow fascism first? It wasn't Turkey.
No, it was Scott Lively and, which based out of Massachusetts.
You're basically from there too, girl.
Yeah, I know. But
wasn't it cute that someone in Turkey got access to AI? It was very cute. They were able to learn to do that. And it's not all that shocking that Erdogan is also one of Trump's closest buddies, one of his heroes, because vultures of a feather flock together.
Very, very true.